What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes and welcome to a FIFA 13 trading Q&A. In the background, you're going to get some FIFA 13 gameplay. I'm going to be using Argentina and I believe Weepeeler is going to be using Italy. But I asked on Twitter, with the pending release of the web app, I've gotten an influx of trading questions and asking for tips. So I figured we'd do a general Q&A. Hopefully some of your questions will be answered in this, and maybe some stuff that you also wanted to know, or maybe you didn't even realize you wanted to know, will get answered as well. So I've just asked on Twitter what kind of questions that you guys would like to see, and so here we go. And the first question is from Matt Norris. He said, would you advise keeping good players you get from packs until the market booms and player prices rocket up, or just trade now? Now, this is definitely one of the interesting questions, and it really depends how active you're going to be on the web app. Now, there are certain players, like if you get a Cristiano Ronaldo, you will be stupid to sell him on. If you get a Lionel Messi, you will be stupid to sell him on. And there are a lot of other players like your Iniestas, and you're very, very highly rated players. I can't put a number on it. You're 86, 87 on up players that you're probably going to want to hold on to because their prices are only going to increase when people have more coins to pay for them. On the other hand, if you plan on being extremely active on the web app, you're going to need coins to make more coins. It's one of the principles of trading, and so in order to make profit, you're going to have some coins. I would recommend holding on to a lot of the expensive players, though. I've never really gotten an expensive player in an opening web app pack or an early FIFA pack, so I can't really say, but there's going to be a limited number of coins on the market, and so if you're able to make coins, that means somebody else is losing their coins. So sometimes it's going to be best to sit on those players and wait for people to get more coins. Let's see. At Hushi1 says, are bronze and silver players better to trade with at the beginning of Ultimate Team? And that's all really relative. Gold players are going to be extremely highly sought after, so that means that the demand for them is going to be a lot higher. The supply is still going to be low, so if you can get your hands on good gold players, it's going to be great to trade them. Now, the demand for silver players, bronze players, and essentially fun squad players is going to be lower. Now, people will find the highly sought after silvers, your 5-star skillers, your super pacey guys. Eventually they're going to realize that pace isn't as important in FIFA 13 and their price will drop down a little bit. But I don't think that they're necessarily better to trade with. You will be able to pick up bargains on silver players because people will not be looking for them, essentially. I made a ton of coins off of Fetfootsitas last year because I found out he was a 5-star skiller in an off league, and before his price shot up, once people found out, I was able to pick up quite a few. All right. Adam Bash says, which Brasilvers are going to be the ones to trade in? You're going to want to go Liga do Brazil. You're going to want to look for pace, and you're going to want to look for 5-star skillers. Also, if you can find some center backs that are extra pacey or look to be quite good, those are going to be the ones that you want to go after. Let's see. Wasim says, how do you find your bargains? And that's basically putting in search parameters, hoping for the best, the 59th-esque minute method, which I'm sure all of you guys know at this point. If not, it's just scrolling over all the way to the end of the 59th minute for when cards are first listed. Will still be available as people do not know what price to list cards for. A lot of people are going to be listing people up for 150 start prices, largely just because the market has yet to determine the value of what that player should go for. So if you're clever, there'll be a lot of people out there. There'll be a lot of cards trading around. If you can get on at an awkward time today, and when I talk about an awkward time, I might stay up a little bit late tonight and see if I can get a few crazy players for really, really low, and then sell them on during peak hours during the next day. It's a good method while the web app is getting started. Dave says, will there be much room for profit if nobody knows fixed prices of players? Absolutely. By the time unfortunately, I don't know how it's going to work with trading this year, but I was able to do, player for player trading last year because people were kind of guessing what the prices of players would be. And so I had my hands on like an informed Lucas Podolski very, very early on. I think I made about 40 to 50,000 coins on the web app right when it got started, before the game actually released, before I got bored of it. So there will definitely be room for that with the web app being out, because there are people that aren't good at trading, and there are going to be people that are stronger at trading, and they will be able to take advantage of them. Will you be doing, let's see, James Prestige says, will you be doing a trading series on FIFA 13 or just trading in an RTG style series? I will be doing power hours periodically. Now, power hours are meant to be built into my Path to Power, but when I do them, I will probably title them as something different, and they will be just like Power Hour, and then I'll say in my Path to Power, hey, if you wanted to see the last episode, which wasn't titled Path to Power, go check out, you know, the power hour. And for those of you guys that might be new to my channel, a power hour is essentially where I take an hour out of my time and I trade, you know, with a given coin total, and I buy as many players as I can that I think will be bargains, and then I sell them on and see how much profit I have indeed made. Let's see, Andreas says, who makes up the prices? If I get a Ronaldo the first day, etc., how much will he go for? And I kind of touched on this already. The market determines the prices. It's really supply and demand. Now, the issue with first day prices is there is a huge demand for Ronaldo and there's a very small supply of Ronaldo. So you know, logic might tell some of you guys that, hey, I think that the price of him is going to skyrocket, but the supply of money or coins out on the market is so slim and so low that it's impossible for him. There's going to be a peak. His equilibrium price is going to be lower because there's only a certain amount that people can pay. Now, people might be willing to pay a lot more, but because they can only pay a certain amount of coins, that's how the market is going to determine what his price will be. Let's see, Connor Gore says, how do you get the first 5K? I can never do it until I play matches. And that's going to be from selling on everything. And now an easy little thing that I did last year too is I went and I searched, I think, the fastest Korean players out there. And the Korean players, there were quite a few that were, or Korean bronzes, there were quite a few that were pretty quick. And so I picked all of them up for 150 coins and sold them all on for about 300 coin buy nows. Eventually, you know, slowly but surely sold them on for 300 coins buy now. And this, you know, it essentially doubled my money. Do it one more time and you doubled your money again, and you're going to be somewhere about that 5,000 coin net range. Now, keep in mind that EA will be giving out what they call gifts daily, so it's worth logging into your web app account, or accounts, as some of you guys I'm sure have created plenty of them. I have two. I've got my Path to Power account and my regular account, so I won't be experiencing as many gifts, I guess, as some of you guys will be, but that will be a way to help you get some coins once you get started. Let's see, please link. Luke says bid tokens replaced or completely removed. Yes, they've been completely removed for the first time ever. Vulcan asks, will I reply to this comment? I guess that's an answer within itself. Luke says, what team do you think you will attempt to build first? And I'm going to go for a value league. I'm talking essentially Russian league, Portuguese league. Bundesliga is still classified as a value league. It'll be determined slightly by if I get an extremely highly rated player in a pack that I want to use. Now, I might end up just waiting and sell that player on. But that'll all be determined by what I get my paws on originally. Let's see. Adam Brown says, what play do you want the most, not to sell, to play with? What player do I want the most to play with? That's a tough question. I honestly have no idea. Obviously, I loved using Messi at the FIFA 13 event, so of course I'd say, hey, man, he'd be a great player to use. I don't know how Ultimate Team is going to turn out in general, so there are a lot of players that I might not have even gotten to try that I think, you know, that could be excellent players, so we'll just have to wait and see. Gary Peterson says, would you recommend selling all of the players you get in free packs? And if yes, right away or a week or so. This all depends. I kind of went into this earlier. It all depends on if you want your coins and if you want them now because you plan on doing a lot of trading. If you plan on doing a lot of trading, you're going to be better off getting the coins. Now, there are going to be players that prices rocket up as soon as people have coins on the game. So you're going to want to wait a little bit to get their maximum value out of those players. Is price fixing really worth the risk, says Liam Hurley. Some of you guys will know that have been with me for a long time. I generally hate price fixers because they then determine the price of the player, and there aren't enough serious Ultimate Team players to essentially say, hey, that's not the actual price, and people are just like, well, I guess that's what the price is. I'm gonna go ahead and have to pay that. And it's like, well, actually, there are quite a few methods to make price fixing very, very easy. I will never ever go into them because I don't think that price fixing should be one of those things that's quite common in Ultimate Team. So onwards and upwards we shall go. Let's see. The FIFA boss says, how often will you be changing your team in FIFA 13? I'll probably change it as soon as I get bored with it, which is a pretty generic answer that I think you're probably looking for more, but that's what you got for right now. Let's see, Adolfo says, why did you make me waste all them coins on bid tokens? What were you going to do with your coins anyway? If you can answer me that, then I'll feel bad. But until then, they were going to be worthless anyway, and it still, in my mind, was the right thing to do at the time. So moving on and moving forward. A lot of questions about the keep now or sell later. How do you know when to sell your high-rated players to get the most value of them? If you have a very high-rated player, I'm going to say this. Do not sell him until people can actually make coins from playing games. There will not be enough coins on the market for you to get a proper coin valuation for your player until that point in time. Best way to start trading with very few coins. Gold players, even if you get some really bad gold players, they'll still probably sell for 350, 400 coins. People be trying to turn around and sell them for 500 coins. You can then pick up a few bronze players, maybe in an off league, maybe a decent deal. They won't turn around and sell that quickly, but you can get them for probably 150 coins, sell them on for 200, 300, 300 coins for a bronze buy now. You double your money. Same thing with silvers. It's not a bad way to get started. Ben asks, best kits to buy. I would stay away from kits and all that stuff in general. People are going to be concentrated on building their team versus having the coolest kits in the world. So that's something that becomes a trading factor later on, but not something that I would get into right away. Daniel Van Rij says, do you have a preferred league to trade with? If so, which league will that be? And that will be whatever league I decide to build my first team with, because that's the league that I'm going to know the prices of the best, because I'm going to be looking through that league constantly for deals. You're going to be looking for, players in a certain formation more than likely as well. If I decide to play a 4-1-2-1-2, then I'm going to be more than likely very, very familiar with all the players in that league in a 4-1-2-1-2 formation. So trade whatever league you're most comfortable with, and more often trade the league of the team that you are currently building. Is Neymar God improve in your opinion? That's from Ferris8 CFC, and the answer is absolutely. Neymar's incredible. I'm not sure if he's going to be default set as a left wing or as a center forward or striker, but his card but using him at the FIFA 13 event in the UK, he was one of my absolute favorite players to use, and I'm glad you reminded me, because I'll now be looking to check him out and possibly purchase him. Franck Ribéry, also one of the players that I cannot wait to get my paws on in Ultimate Team. Unfortunately, I think they might be playing the same position, so that could make for not tons of fun. Which Champions League game will I be watching? That's from Scott Nienhuis. I think the Real Madrid-Manchester City game is the only one on TV here in the States, and frankly, I'd rather watch a game on the big screen in HD than watch a game or watch a match on my laptop streamed in semi-poor quality. Thomas Halstead says, if you got Ribéry, speaking of the man, in a starter pack, would you keep him to put him in your first team or sell him and trade with the coins? I think we've essentially been over this. The smart move would be to wait anyways, because his price is only going to go up, and only going to go up for a little while. And if you can hold off and trade with the other players that you get, you're best off to keep him and sell him at a later date. Plus, he should be an extremely good player to use, so I really don't see the point in selling him on right away. Let's see, Jacob Shepard said, what's an ideal amount of coins to have before building your first team, and what team will you build first? Now, that's a very interesting question to try to put an exact coin total. It really depends on the league and the players that you're after. You're going to want to get, essentially, I guess it would be somewhere along the lines of a non-rare team to go with. The last time I had a full Brazilian gold team at the start of Ultimate Team, because, hey, I thought I was still going to be a skiller, and then I realized that's just not my style. But I ended up selling them on very, very quickly. You're going to want to have a team, though, that you can use to essentially play some games and get some profit. And so having a very, very cheap bronze team isn't a bad thing. There are going to be a lot of people that don't use the web app and go straight into using that bronze starter pack, and you're going to get matched up with them. And if you have a bronze team with a bunch of chemistry, you'll probably slaughter them. And so that's not a bad way. Then you can save all your coins and build your gold team one player at a time. And now one player at a time is kind of my method for building a team, in a sense where you got to pick up the right deal at the right time, but you have to keep enough coins to be able to keep trading and keep making more coins time and time again. If you have, say, 5,000 coins and you go out and you spend all 5,000 of those coins, what are you going to use to trade with? You're going to have no coins. You're going to have to play another game. Then you're going to have 750 coins, and trading with 750 coins or 1,000 coins is drastically more difficult than trading with 5,000 coins. So go ahead and buy a player, as you're building your team. Take the 5,000 coins, buy a player maybe worth, 500, 600 coins instead of buying the big time player to begin with. Now, obviously, if the deal is out, if you can get Neymar for 5,000 coins, that's a great use of your 5,000 coins because then it's worth it. It's one of those where his price is only going to skyrocket, and you know that you'll be able to sell him on at a later date, or he's the player for your team and you'd rather struggle with trading a little bit than miss out on the opportunity to get what will be an extremely expensive player for a very, very small coin total. All right, let's see. Solid says, is it better to quick sell players from packs or sell them for more when the game is released? And that's a very interesting question because there's going to be such a limited number of players out there and a limited number of coins. If you quick sell players, you're increasing the number of coins on the market, but you're decreasing the number of cards out there. What's essentially going to happen from this is it's going to allow, it's going to increase the overall prices of players out there because people will have coins that they're going to want to use on players. And so I did quick sell players last year. There were certain, I got some non-rare gold players that I was like, well, I can't see anybody necessarily really wanting this player. And frankly, I don't really want this player either. So I will quick sell them on, take the coins, and start on trading. I'd rather have the coins now so I could start trading than go ahead and wait. And the last question, Nasser says, how many packs do players from Ultimate Team 12 get for FIFA 13? I'm assuming it's 2. That's what it was last year. It could be more, and there will be free gifts, so it could add up to be quite a bit in the long run. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this trading Q&A. Sorry for the ramble, but hopefully it helped answer some of your questions and give you a little pack philosophy to begin your FIFA 13 Ultimate Team journey. If you did enjoy this video, a thumbs up or like is always greatly appreciated. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.